Hello and welcome to Hotspot on your number one online television channel, CTV. Well, Hotspot is a show where we get to discuss and dissect everything going on in the world of sports, be it football, be it basketball, be it Formula One, be it tennis. We've got you covered right here on CTV. You're listening to the voice of the principal thing. Yes, my name is Wisdom Chinguba, and I'm going to be your host, giving you all of the actions and the conversations in the world of sports. Well, on Hotspot, just like I said, we discuss everything in the world of sports, but today we are going to narrow it down to football. Yes, so I'm going to be giving you, a bit of everything going on in the world, and we're going to be having some interesting conversations. Yes, I say interesting conversations because I've got conversations from the MPFL as well as the current Euros 2024 currently going on. And there's something about the Premier League. The fixtures for the Premier League next season has been released. And we're seeing some interesting fixtures for the opening day. So there's a whole lot for us to enjoy and, have a good time on the show together. So don't go anywhere. By the way, before I forget, this show is sponsored by the Adama Sule Foundation. So let's go on this break, and once we come back, we'll be going straight into all our conversations. Alright, welcome back. You're still listening to Hotspot on your number one online television channel, CTV. My name is Wisdom Chinguba. Yes, you can call me the principal thing. And just before we went on the break, I told you that we have, some interesting conversations, especially in the world of football. And you can get to be a part of the conversation. Yes, you can go to our Instagram as well as Facebook. And for those of you streaming live on YouTube, our handle on Facebook and YouTube is CTV Live, and then for Instagram, CTV Live 1. Yes, you can do well to drop your comments and tell me what you think about the conversations that we'll be having today. Now, I'm going straight to our first talking point of the day. I'm talking about the Nigerian Professional Football League, or as some would like to call it, the Nigerian Premier Football League. Well, there's a bit of a conversation. I wouldn't say it's a bit of a conversation, but it kind of tingles the ear when you hear it. And we're talking about money. Yes, we're talking about ego, kudi, cash, anyone you choose to call it. Yes, the champions, that is the new champions of the MPFL. Well, for those of you that are not aware, Enugu Rangers, or Rangers International of Enugu, have been confirmed as the champions of the MPFL. Yes, they won the MPFL with just a game to spare, by the way, and that the final set of games for match week 38 will be going down this Sunday. I'm going to be giving you a rundown of all of those fixtures so you get to have an understanding or an idea of how the final day of the MPFL season would look like. But Enugu Rangers have been confirmed as the champions of the MPFL. Congrats to Fidelis Ilechukwu, who has really done a great job, in his MPFL career as a coach. I'm coaching the likes of MFM, Sunshine, but this milestone for him, or this milestone rather, is the biggest is accomplished so far in the MPFL. So Enugu Rangers, for lifting the MPFL trophy, my goodness, they have been awarded with a sum of 150 million naira. Woo! 150 million naira, guys. That is an absolutely insane amount of money. But, it's well deserved for Enugu Rangers, who have been impressive this season. To be honest, they've been impressive. Like, when I mean impressive, I mean impressive. They've been outstanding this season. And, it's funny how they managed, to win the league with just a game to spare. Right now, as things stand in the MPFL table, with a game to spare, they are 5 points ahead of second place Remo Stars and 7 points ahead of the former defending champions. Talking about Enyimba, yes, they are former defending champions because we now have a new champion in Rangers International. Yes, so Rangers have won the MPFL title and they've been awarded a sum of 150 million naira. Well, not only Rangers, gets to receive money because a team that has gained promotion to the MPFL have been awarded 20 million naira by the governor of the state. And which team is that? We're talking about Nasarawa United. Yes, their governor, Governor Sule, awarded them 20 million naira for gaining promotion back to the MPFL. Yes, alongside teams like Academy Warriors, Ikorodu City, and the likes, they all gained promotion back to the MPFL. So 20 million naira for Nasarawa United, and Enugu Rangers will be laying their hands on 150 million naira. My goodness, money is flying everywhere. Well, you can get to be a part of the conversation. Don't forget, do well to drop your comments as you're streaming live with us on CTV. Yes, once again, the handle is CTV Live on Facebook and right there on YouTube, and then Instagram, CTV Live 1. And don't forget, guys, this show is sponsored by the Adama Sule Foundation. Yes, now still talking about the MPFL, I'm just going to tell you how the MPFL table stands so you can have an idea of how things look like, and I'm going to give you a rundown of the final set of fixtures so you get to have an understanding of how the final match week would look like. Yeah, so for the first game, for the final match day, that is on Sunday, all the games will go down simultaneously by 4 p.m. So the first game would be Remo Stars up against Katsina United. So Remo Stars are second, like I said earlier, with 62 points and are 5 points behind the champions Enugu Rangers. We have Niger Tornadoes taking on Sunshine Stars. We have Enyimba welcoming Plateau United. Shooting Stars up against Sporting Lagos. Doma United taking on Abia Warriors. Gombe United, relegated Gombe United, would be taking on champions Enugu Rangers. I just hope they don't get destroyed again because Gombe United, they've had the worst season. Yes, they've conceded the most goals. They've received about 5-0 bashings different times this season. I'm talking about Aqua United taking on Rivers. We have Kano Pillars taking on Lobby Stars, and then Kwara United up against Outland of Owerri, who have also been relegated, by the way. And then we have Bendel Insurance up against Bayelsa United. That is a rundown of the MPFL fixture. So guys, let's go on this break, and when we come back from this break, we're going to be switching over to Europe, where the Euros 2024. For me, I wouldn't really say I've been really impressed with the first set of fixtures, but we've got something interesting for you. Let's go on this break. We'll be back. Stay tuned. Alright, once again, you're welcome back to Hotspot on your number one online television channel, CTV. You're still listening to the voice of the principal thing. Yes, my name is Wisdom Chinwoba. Yes, and don't forget, guys, this show is proudly sponsored by the Adama Sule Foundation. Before we went on the break, we were talking about the MPFL, and I said something about money flying everywhere. Yes, Enugu Rangers awarded a sum of 150 million naira for lifting the MPFL trophy, and then for Nasarawa United, after getting promotion back to the MPFL from the NNL, their governor awarded them 20 million naira for a job well done. Now we'll be moving and crossing over to Europe, where currently the Euros 2024 is currently going down. Now the conversation I would like us to have about the Euros so far, after match day 1, we've seen some impressive scoreline, we've seen some disappointing scorelines, and for you personally, I would love to hear from you. You can do well to drop your comments while you're streaming live on YouTube, and then for those of you that are streaming via other channels, you can also do well to drop your comments. So on Facebook and YouTube, our handle is the same, CTV Live, and Instagram, CTV Live 1. Now, so for you, so far so good after match day 1. By the way, Croatia versus Albania, that game has gone down and it's ended 2-2. Yes, Croatia, Albania, that was for match day 2. The game went down during the early hours of today and ended 2-2. But for match day 1, Germany, as the host nation, gave us a grand opening by smashing Scotland 5-1. That was a statement opening game by Germany. But apart from Germany, I don't really think we've seen any high-scoring games. So I would love to hear from you. Tell me which game has surprised you the most. That is in terms of the quality of the match, in terms of the goals, in terms of the performance of the teams, and which team has really surprised you, and also which team you feel like they've disappointed you. They haven't really lived up to the hype. For me personally, I think the likes of France and England haven't really lived up to the hype, and I must say that the first game between Germany and Scotland, I wasn't expecting that kind of scoreline, to be honest. So I would also love to hear what you think about that. Do well to drop your comments. And then for match day 2, tell me which game are you looking out for match day 2. So for those of you that probably missed match day 1, I'm just going to tell you how match day 1 ended, so you can have an idea of how how the game went down, and then you can know what to expect going on to match day 2. All right. So for match day 1, Germany opened it by smashing Scotland by 5-1, and then Hungary lost 3-1 to Switzerland. Spain, surprise, defeated Croatia by 3-0. I didn't expect that scoreline. That is also another one that shocked me. But moving on, we have Italy, who defeated Albania by 2-1, and yes, Italy defeated Albania by 2-1, and then the Netherlands defeating Poland by 2-1 as well. Now, still talking about the games that went down, we have Germany, we have England, who won by 1-0 against Serbia, and then we have Denmark, Slovenia, which ended 1-1. Romania, Ukraine, surprise again. Romania defeated Ukraine by 3-0, and then we have Belgium, who lost by 1-0 to Slovakia. We have France, who won Austria by 1-0, and then we have Turkey, who defeated Georgia by 2-1. And yesterday, Portugal had the better of Czech Republic by 2-1. And now looking on to match day 2, like I said earlier, Scotland, what's the name now? Croatia, yes. Croatia and Albania ended 2-2 earlier today. And then for the games that would be going down, we have Italy taking on Spain, or Spain taking on Italy, because Spain would be assuming the home team in this position. All of these games going down in Germany. And then we have Slovakia, Ukraine. We have Poland, Austria, Netherlands, France, Georgia, Czech Republic. Yes, these are some of the games that would be going down for match day 2. So guys, do well to tell me what you think. Which game are you looking out for in match day 2? For me, the game that I really have my eyes peeled on is Spain versus Italy. That is one game you need to look out for. Spain, they've been blazing red hot. They are the current champions of the Nations League. While for Italy are the defending champions of the Euros. Yes, they won Euros 2020, defeating England by penalties, yes, at Wembley. Well, for the remaining fixtures that will be going down, we have Georgia, Czech Republic, Portugal, Turkey, Belgium, and Romania. So that is how it stands. So guys, do well to drop your comments right there live on YouTube where you're streaming. And for those of you streaming on other channels, yes, you can do well to drop your comments. So we're going to go on our final break, and when we come back, we'll be concluding by talking about the Premier League. Yes, the fixtures, like I said earlier, for next season have been released. I'm going to give you a rundown of the first set of games that will be going down by August, and you are going to be telling me what you think about those games and the ones you would be looking out for. You're still listening to CTV Live. Stay tuned. All right. Once again, welcome back to Hotspot on your number one online television channel, CTV. This program is proudly sponsored by the Adama Sule Foundation, and I remain your host, Wisdom Chinwoba. Welcome back, guys. So now for our final conversation on the show today, we'll be talking about the Premier League fixture. So let me give you a rundown of the Premier League fixture just for match day 1, and then you are going to be telling me the fixture you are most excited for and the one you are looking out for. But for me, I've got about 3 or 4 games I've got my eyes on. I don't know what you think. Do well to drop your comments live on YouTube there, and probably next time on our next show, I'm going to be taking out some of your comments. Okay, so now for the Premier League for match day 1, beginning August 16th, well, Manchester United, the club of my heart, or the club I support, or the club I love, yes, Manchester United would be welcoming Fulham, who did us a strong thing last season. Yes, Fulham did us wrong last season, but probably we might just get to have our revenge next season. Yes, we'll be welcoming Fulham, or United rather, would be welcoming Fulham at Old Trafford on 16th of August, opening the Premier League season for next season. All right, and we have Ipswich Town taking on Liverpool. Now, Ipswich Town, we all know they are the newly promoted boys, and for Liverpool, they have a new manager, talking about Arne Slot. So Ipswich Town and Kieran McKennie, but that is one game that we really need to look out for, because Arne Slot starting his first game on the right note as a Liverpool boss is very key. And for Ipswich Town, if they know that they don't want to battle relegation next season, they also need to start on a very wonderful note. So that is one game you need to get your eyes peeled on. And then we have runners up. Yes, runners up for last 2 seasons, runners up for last season. Some people like to call them bottling company, but hey, you didn't hear that for me. Arsenal will be taking on Wolves. Yes, Wolverhampton Wanderers will be going to the Emirates to take on Arsenal. And then we have Everton taking on Brighton, and we have Newcastle also welcoming one of the newly promoted sides. They are more like a traditional Premier League team, but you know, they're also no strangers to the Championship. That is talking about Southampton. Newcastle up against Southampton. Another game I think you need to look out for. And then we have Nottingham Forest up against Bournemouth. We have West Ham taking on Aston Villa. We have Brentford taking on Crystal Palace, a resurgent Crystal Palace under Oliver Glasner. And then we have the biggest game of match day 1 for me, Chelsea against Manchester City. Now, a whole lot of people are saying this game is like Master versus the Apprentice. Why? Because Enzo Maresca, Chelsea's new boss, was Pep's former assistant, you know, before leaving Manchester City, and after having a bit of stint somewhere else, finally joined Leicester City and promoted them back to the Premier League. So Chelsea taking on Manchester City. Enzo Maresca up against Pep. A whole lot of people are saying it's the battle of the bowed head, because we know both of them have bowed heads. So there's a whole lot to look out for. And final game of the season, or the first match week, that is Leicester against Tottenham Hotspur. Leicester City, they are yet to appoint a new manager, though we've been hearing reports. We've had the likes of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and a whole lot of names, but they are yet to make an official announcement of the appointment of any manager. So they will be taking on Tottenham for the final, the last game of match week 1. So guys, that is that for the Premier League. Do well to tell me what you think. Do well to tell me what you think about all of these fixtures, and tell me the one that you are looking out for. Like I said earlier, for me, all of these fixtures, the Premier League is one that you really can't take your eyes off. Course, there are no minnows in Premier League. There are no small teams in the Premier League. Everyone is a giant killer or a giant slayer in the Premier League. So for me personally, like the fixtures I would be looking out for as Manchester United, Fulham United. Of course, I love Manchester United. And then I'll be looking out for Ipswich Town against Liverpool. And then Arsenal Wolves. I wouldn't really want to spend much time on it, because on paper you would expect Arsenal to get the better of Wolves. But I'll look at Newcastle Southampton. Yes, all of the new boys, we need to keep our eyes on them. And then the biggest one that is talking about Chelsea, Manchester City. No doubt we want to have a taste of that action. And then Leicester City up against Tottenham Hotspur. So that is that for the Premier League. So like I said, guys, do well to drop your comments on YouTube live while you're streaming there. And for others that are streaming on IG and Facebook, you can also drop your comment. Next week on the show, I'm going to be reading out some of your comments, both from today's show and for the show that we'll be having next week. And guys, don't forget, on Wednesday, you can also join us for So You Think You Know About Football, where we get to give you, data giveaway or data prize for answering questions relating to football, because football is a game we all love. Even some people might tell you I'm not really a football person and all of that, but once it comes to the Super Eagles, Nigeria is playing, everyone wants to watch. By the end of it, they say, no, I don't watch football. Football is a game we all love. So if you get to answer 8 questions correctly, there's just a prize waiting for you. Don't forget, this show is sponsored by the Adama Sule Foundation. And just before we call it a wrap, guys, let me just give you a bit of information about basketball. For those of you that love basketball, the Boston Celtics, as we all know, have won the NBA championship. Yes, so this is the first time they are winning it since 2008. Although the victory over Dallas Mavericks gave them their 18th NBA title. Yes, so now with their 18th NBA title, they've gone ahead of the Los Angeles Lakers. Yes, I was talking about Los Angeles Lakers, who had 17. They've gone ahead of them, and now they have 18th. Yes, that is impressive. Some fantastic work done by the Los Angeles Lakers, by Boston Celtics. I beg your pardon. You might be wondering, why am I mentioning basketball in football? Well, this is because the boss of Boston Celtics has attributed, his victory to Pep Guardiola, talking about the boss of Manchester City. Yes, he said that Pep helped him with his tactics and preparation for the final game against Dallas Mavericks. So guys, this is how we call it a wrap on today's show. It's been a pleasure giving you all of this interesting updates, and like I said, please don't forget to drop your comments. We are going to be taking them in the next show. And before I leave, let me just leave you with these words of wisdom. Proverbs 4:7, guys. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore get wisdom, and in all thy getting, get understanding. Do have a wonderful evening. Goodbye.